AFL finals are finally upon us. We're right here on the cusp of some really good footy this weekend. Things are going to kick off with Port Adelaide versus Geelong on Thursday night, the game we're going to preview here in this video. I'm going to give you my best tips for this game. It's going to be Port Adelaide to win by 1-39, the small margin, and also the game total to go over. Now, I have some interesting stats around why I've taken the over and not the under coming into finals footy, so we'll get to that in just a minute. I want to look at the teams kind of run into finals, where they kind of sit on the statistics tables in a few different metrics, and where I think the matchups are going to be won or lost from each team. Now, Port Adelaide coming into finals, they really solidified themselves as contenders in the back half of the season. Won 8 of their last 9 games, and I mean, that achievement against Sydney, putting 148 points on the minor premiers, was just a massive effort. They were top 5 team for inside 50s, shots at goal, tackles and hitouts to advantage during the year. But we can all agree that their accuracy in front of the sticks was disgusting, off the charts in exactly the wrong way. The Geelong season, bookended by some really class performances. Okay, so they started the season 7-0, were one of the teams that everybody was like, okay, they're going to be there come finals time. Then they went on a run of 1-6, and many people are saying, okay, they're old, they're done, get them not out of the comp, but they're not going to make finals. They turned things around, finished the season 7-2 to cement themselves in the top 4. Interesting, they had the worst disposal efficiency of any team in the AFL, but also the most meters gained on the park. So, work that out for me. I have no idea. Top 2 in contested possessions and also centre clearances in the regular season. So they were outmatching teams across the park, and that's contributing to their wins in a number of areas. And when we look at scoring and scoring defense, which is here, I think the game will be won or lost, and it's going to be, unfortunately, Geelong that lose the game with their scoring defense. They've allowed the second most points of any top 8 team in the AFL for the regular season, and 1,928 points, so it's by quite a margin as well. As I said, the defense was called into question during the middle part of the season. In 5 of an 8-game period, they allowed their opposition to score 100 points or more in each of those 5 games. So defense has been up and down, inconsistent, and I think that's what's going to contribute to Port Adelaide being able to get over the line here. When they come into finals, so the last 5 games of the season for Geelong, they actually were able to reduce the average opposition score down to 79 points per game, but it didn't convince me enough to think they're going to be able to hold out Port in a finals game with a potential grand final spot just around the corner. I think Port will look to take advantage of the clearances, where Geelong are second last in stoppage clearances to opposition and dead last in total clearances to their opposition. Port Adelaide are a bit of above average team in this spot, but I think when they get the ball, get out, and then look to strike deep into their 50. You got guys like Georgiades, Dixon, Horne-Francis. Port Adelaide are the best team in the league at taking marks inside 50, averaging 13.7 through their regular season. The Cats giving up 40.9 clearances per game to their opposition, and it's just going to give a lot more opportunity to Port Adelaide to get the ball up in front of the sticks, and hopefully for their fans, put it through the big sticks and not on the side to the little ones. Port Adelaide have also been quite strong in defence this season, so averaging 65.5 tackles per game, the most of any team in the AFL, putting a lot of pressure on their opponent when they have the ball in hand. And we're looking now at the game total. So all that which I've spoken about now, pushing towards the Port Adelaide 1-39 win margin, and we look at the game total to go over. And you think when you come into finals time, scoring is at a minimum. There's going to be a lot more pressure on the ball, a lot tighter matchups with teams more evenly matched across the park. And that's true. So in the regular season, the last 5 seasons since 2029, a regular season game averages around 158 points per game. When you look at just the finals games, that number drops to 149 points per game. So you can expect a little bit of a drop in scoring. But here, I think, is where the bookies overcook things. So when you look at the percentages between unders and overs of a game total, in a regular season, your under is hitting at 49%. that actually goes down to 44% in finals, so much more likely to have an overs game in the finals despite the scoring going down. So I'm going to take the over in this one. My computer models are giving me that number, and as well Port Adelaide to take this one by a short margin. It's probably going to be 3 or 4 kicks at most in this one. Don't forget, you can see all the AFL finals action, NRL finals once they roll around, and all the summer action here on our channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Let us know what you think about our tips, and have a great weekend.